and welcome to another video update from the Fire Brigades Union, here in the Union's head office in London. We're here to discuss a very serious fire that recently took place in Glasgow, and we're joined by the Union's most senior official in Scotland, EC member Chris McGlone. Chris, we're talking about a huge fire that took place in Glasgow city centre, pretty much destroyed the School of Art there and the O2 arena which was behind it. We're going to talk about the implications of that fire, but first of all, a word of the firefighters, FBU members and control staff that dealt with that situation.
Absolutely fantastic, Tam. And the first thing we would want to say would be to echo, the praise and the credit, that the firefighters who responded to that fire, if you've alluded to, was a massive fire. As you know, Glasgow's got this unenviable reputation as the tinderbox city, and it's off the back of fires like this over the years and over the centuries. And this, even for Glasgow's reputation, was a big fire. So there was clearly significant risks presented to firefighters when they responded to that incident, and they would have done their very best to extinguish that fire. 4 years ago they were successful in a very, very similar fire, managed to save by and large the majority of the building, certainly to the point where they were able to refurbish it and rebuild it. Unfortunately this time it just sounds as if the fire was too well developed and too significant to allow an entry in to fight the fire. But they did a fantastic job. There was buildings round about affected. The new art school building across the road from it was also badly affected, so there was a significant serious risk there. They managed to stop it spreading there. So what a fantastic job they did, Tam, yeah.
So again, exceptional professionalism from the crews over there.
Yeah.
But of course, importantly, this comes within the context, the background of massive cuts to the frontline service right across the UK. In Scotland, you're going through a period of transformation, as they call it. Surely, at a political level, this has to be a wake-up call to politicians about the resources needed to tackle fires in cities.
It is a wake-up call, Tam, and it's a warning, and it's a warning that we have to heed. The city has been, and surrounding area has been a bit unlucky in the last 12 months. We've suffered significant fires with the Cameron House Hotel fire, which destroyed a very important, culturally significant building down in the Loch Lomond side. We had just a matter of weeks ago a big fire in Sauchiehall Street, a huge fire in Sauchiehall Street, which closed half the city centre as well. We've now had the art school building and the adjacent building as well. And again, there'll be massive impact, massive social and economic impact locally. And as you said, this is against the backdrop of discussions and the Auditor General report over the possibility of more job cuts and the possibility of losing stations within the city and the surrounding area. So it really is a wake-up call for us, and people really need to stop and take stock at the moment and say, right, hold on a second. These fires aren't going away, they haven't stopped, they're still there. And we continually get told, and we get this stat repeated about the 40% cuts in fires, Tam, and we know that, and we're well aware of that. But clearly there is still significant risk within our communities and within cities right across the whole of the UK, and especially in cities like Glasgow, Edinburgh, Stirling, Dundee, Perth, Aberdeen, Inverness, etc. These are big cities, big population centres, and big risks.
You talked about big risk. Now, we saw the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, actually came down to the scene of the fire, praised the firefighters. You've made that key political point about getting that message home. What's the next steps for the FBU to make that message clear?
Well, again, we would repeat and reiterate and echo the plaudits that have been given to firefighters, and quite rightly so, from the government ministers down. What we need to do is we need to seriously sit down with the service, the local authorities and the government, and consider the wider implications of incidents and fires like this, because it is against the backdrop of potential cuts, more reductions in firefighters and possibly stations. So the risks still exist within our communities. We are continually told that there's 40% less fires. Yep, we are absolutely aware of that, but there are still significant risks that we need resources, firefighters, stations, and we need significant resilience, not just in the cities, but right across the whole country, to respond to incidents like this as when they happen. And as we've seen over the last 12 months, Tam, we've had 3 or 4 of these major incidents.
Absolutely. Thanks so much indeed, Chris. So a very strong message there from Chris McGlone, the Executive Council member for the Scottish Fire Brigades Union. For more updates, not just in this issue, but for the wider work of the union, you can go to our website, and that's www.fbu.org.uk. For more immediate updates, however, you can go onto our Twitter feed, and that's simply @FBU National. Till the next time, thanks, and thanks so much for talking to us, Chris.
Bye.